ye? Andreas Lumel, Bale of the
Heel! Mutt!
I don't know what you said to the Mint Master, but he left.
No, I don't care for gossip. Nor do I. But this, what's this? I'm not interested. This is about money.
I'm gonna go give this book back to this girl.
That's City Tournament. What's an occasion, eh? Will you go?
I reckon I'll have a look first.
I've got my eye on you. May you remain in good health. By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this, then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
In that case, we can get started right away.
Agreed.
It should
How
be one
should
of the
I
main
start?
quests.
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, being a man myself, a man, I suppose.
Why not? And what kind of a man is he?
You mean I have to think up a name?
You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even.
How about a priest or a vicar? That could be interesting.
Well, I've never taken much of a liking to them, but if you say so. What interests you about them?
Their hypocrisy bothers me. I've yet to meet a priest who isn't hiding something.
Aren't you playing Advocatus Diaboli? They can't all be rotten and evil.
Oh, but they can. One chases women, another likes to drink, a third used to poach when he was young, and a fourth still does. And then they lecture us in church about how to be God-fearing Christians.
What if I take that as a criticism then? Not a philippic, of course. More like a little nudge.
I wouldn't do it. I knew a girl who in good faith failed to watch her tongue, and she almost ended up badly.
She wouldn't be the first or the last. What did she do that was so horrible?
She just tried to help people. Sometimes against their will, that's true. But she never would have hurt anyone. She cared for the wounded and the sick. She did everything to get them food and a place to sleep.
A perfect saint.
Literally. Virgin Mary herself took her into her service.
And how did this girl find out?
The Mother of God appeared to her in a dream and spoke to her.
And was there any proof that this really was the case? That she wasn't making it up?
One time she dreamed about a cave, frequented by the devil himself. She described exactly where I had to go, and I found it.
And did you meet the devil there?
No, but I found the bodies of several people. Murdered and dumped down a mine shaft into that cave.
And you think it was the work of Satan? More like a band of thieves or some robber baron?
Let me finish. Up top, near the shaft, I met the murderer. A cruel cutthroat who carried a shield with a devil's head.
That is certainly strange, but it still seems more like a coincidence. If I were that girl, I would have kept my mouth shut. She could have been burned.
Well, that's what happened. She was interrogated by the Inquisition, and even though many people tried to prove her innocence, she didn't escape punishment.
Ugh. Well, fine. You've convinced me. Maybe we should try something else.
Yes, I agree. Better not to try. There are heaps of
All right. A woman, then.
such as...
Tell me
I think above all...
And isn't that right?
Only fools.
You'd be surprised. Or better yet, that I would... If the lady in our story... I agree. Well,
Well,
not yet.
what?
A picture. I don't trust myself, especially if you...
What?
Imagine a beautiful lady is standing...
I'd rather keep what I do to myself.
Well, your suffering is over. So what about that story?
Too bad there aren't more books like...
Really? And what about the sketch?
Well, your talent...
But otherwise, I think...
Well... I'd like to see you...
Please do. It will certainly...
Alright, finish the...
Look out.
shop here. We've got enough for everyone.
A fine day for some fine wear.
The best wine in Kuttenberg. The taste of home on your estate.
Just reading.
This is full and intoxicating. The smell of a
Don't shove.
Gotta figure out where the end is.
Was willst du, Shell? Leave me in peace. I ain't going to talk.
I'm sorry.
Oh, but I'll be what?
I'll have a look at the web. Let's talk about the... What would you say?
That's not. Sehr gut. I kenne. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen. Was willst du, Schoch? Leave me alone. I ain't going to talk.
Let's make...
Oh, but I'll be what?
I'd like to...
Sehr...
I've met quite... They say...
Leider, the Mann ist... Ich habe
So you... Tell me more.
Wisst ihr? Los.
Greetings to you two.
Look out!
Well, come to your senses yet?
Good day.
Wanted to break in here. Did you? Virgin. Who is it?
Shit.
Mind where you're going?
A fine day for some fine wear.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No, Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't.
What will I need to...
Fast feet and good manners.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a...
Well, no.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made.
Where can I find the...
He's supposed to pick up his new... That is...
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give...
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly.
I'll be going then.
Just make sure...
I'm so fucking lazy.
Oh, from the
Quality goods, the finest wares.
needles, threads, shoes here. Why are you bothering me? I ain't go.
I apologize. Let's just forget.
Absolutely not.
Let's I hear one Franta Cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up.
I'll have a look at the...
Maybe next time then.
Juicy pears. A fine day for some fine wares.
Careful!
Was willst du, Chef? Leave me in peace. I ain't going...
Let's make...
But I'll be...
What's new in the...
Nicht viel. If you are looking...
Let me be you. I ain't gonna talk to.
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone, you. I ain't.
Let's make up. You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Let me put it another way. How much do you want for your place?
Finally, some sensible talk. But it won't come cheap. When I count it all up, new clothes, wages, a backhander to get in there at all, not to mention the coin I'd make in other places if I could say I served the King of Hungary.
Einen Moment noch.
All right, here you are, you daylight robber.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
I need to go and get my bath. He looks like shit. This looks like shit. And you're wondering why I gotta pay gold to every single other person? Because I murdered everybody in the city, including some of the guards. I was just running around hacking people down, shooting them in the doors and stuff.
What did I do to you?
What about the count?
Henry, we did it.
Really?
Yes!
That's excellent.
I can hardly... We won! And I'm so happy. And it's thanks to...
So it's all over. What now?
Now I'll tell the girls to do whatever anyone asks for. Everyone will get what they want here. You won't find girls who are more eager to please. And who have the prettiest arses to slap. Now with a municipal bathhouse, I want this place to be special.
That sounds wonderful. Aren't you afraid Adam will find out what happened?
Let him find out. I've got the certificate, and nothing can change that. He's been bribing the council for years now. So why should it matter if I swing the balance in my favor for once? Balls to that.
Now that we've got the result, how about some kind of reward for me?
Of course. My door is always open for you. Come for a bath. Get your clothes washed. Have some fun. Everything's on the house. And if you want to learn something about herbs, go and see Zlata. She'll be glad to help.
Thanks very much. I'll take you up on that. I'll be on my way.
Thanks. Drop in when...
Greetings, Betty.
And to you, Councillor Naz. What brings you here?
I was in the neighborhood, so it occurred to me to take a look at our new municipal bathhouse.
I see. Yes. Thank you very much for putting your trust in me.
You know, the vote could be considered a miracle. Nobody expected you to win, but you did. I hope you don't let us down, Betty. The
privilege can always be revoked. Don't forget that.
I'm certain you'll be satisfied, Councillor Naz. You and the other councillors are always welcome here.
Yes, yes. We'll definitely see each other very soon. Till then, farewell.
Farewell.
What was that all about?
That was the councillor coming to ask for coin.
He wants a bribe.
Adam most likely paid him on top of all the other services. And I think he'll want the same here. Better to have something than nothing, though, eh? Thanks for your help, Henry.
I'm glad it worked out. Take care.
Look out!
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
I'd like to learn.
What would you like?
Tell me the best.
Great.
I'd like a beer.
My body.
Certain.
Do you have some pretty girl here who could...
My God.
I won't make it to the council assembly at this rate.
Something. Don't shop.
Get on the way.
You shouldn't be walking around without a light.
What do you want here?
All decent Christians are asleep at this hour.
You're not from here, eh? Around here, you need a light after dark. Yuck. You're ugly. Now I know why you wanted to be in the dark. Anyway, carry on.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
The city reserves are in urgent need.
There are the pitchers of wine.
Unversüchlich.
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Boy, are you
Where
dead?
did they get them?
Wine. You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had
I apologize,
them,
sir.
Herrgott. It
Which
is eine
one?
Schande
Tokai.
when outlaws
That's the
have
white.
better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this.
Look out!
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal? What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeit this is.
What the?
The dry devil
I
is
can't-
running free.
Are you deaf,
There are
sir?
Raubricker
White.
everywhere
White.
in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend
It
yourselves
literally won't
with a
let
few
me.
rusty helmets.
Look out! And who is it you want to fight? Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund providing us with protection, isn't he?
It's not that long ago that some bandits burned down Bohunovitz. Nobody dealt with them, or as far as I know, even started investigating. Der König has his own concerns at home, and one day he will withdraw his army.
Quiet! The king may turn up at any
Waiter,
moment.
get me
What
white.
have he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend
sorry,
it
sir.
with brooms?
Orders from above.
This is
Where can we get the
unbelievable.
coin for better equipment?
I can't
We can always
pour wine.
confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well.
Hey, waiter,
Maybe
pour me
if
some
he waived
monastery
some
wine.
of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubricker
Monastery
to
wine
wreak
here.
havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no
Why not
solution
just
to the
stand in
current
front of them?
situation. We shall wait and see
Monastery
what
wine
His
here.
Majesty thinks about the matter.
I do.
Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
Wouldn't it make more sense to be slightly behind them?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the
I
city
fancy some
and the state of the public baths.
Refill,
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city
Sorry,
is
sir.
not what it should
Orders
be.
from above.
This
Current
is
baths in the
unbelievable.
city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right. We do have the new baths in Hoprink. And Adam's old
More
ones.
wine, Master
But I
Bailiff.
hear the Hoprink baths are more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but the quality went downhill at Adams, too.
What? Pray tell. I thought you were a frequent customer there. Or has he grown tired of pampering you for free?
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Certainly, sir.
Come back with it straight up.
Needs to wash. There's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a...
Nice.
You know what.
So what?
These silver might
Going
be
to the
big.
baths is neither a civic duty nor a...
So,
I did.
not so loud. And now go back to your...
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths. Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
Tokai!
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Well, thank the Lord.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this
Hostile,
case it
and a full
really
cup.
was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
I
Why
fancy
do I
some
have the
Tokai.
feeling you're not telling us the
Refill,
whole
boy.
truth?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
Well, thank
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be specific, Forsooker. Are you blaming one of us?
Ah, and look who
I'd
spoke
like some
first.
monastery wine.
First of all,
Refill my
it
cup,
wasn't
boy.
a duel. It was supposed to be an honorable combat. And I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
Don't hang
If you
around
want to
me.
blame somebody,
Vanish, you hear
we
me?
should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me?
Ah, never mind.
Hey!
I suspect the gentleman from the city's
Refill,
sword
sir.
fighting
Do you
school
think I
brought
come to
this
the
custom
castle
to
just
us.
to guzzle wine?
It's now
Come
run
here!
by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
So you will just leave it.
All right.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But...
What? Because I'm bored.
Garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So
That
what
was easy
then
enough.
one more
And he wanted
reason?
me to count the winged figures.
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
The chapel is right outside the door. So, let's...
I found your...
Really? And did you count them?
I counted...
And you counted correct.
Wow, I guess.
Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on,
That's
and in
straight
the
up, yeah.
meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settle.
You there, lad.
Right under our
A
noses.
cup of bread.
It's just a
And
village
don't
with a
you
monastery.
skimp on me.
And they are going to mock a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like For instance,
Tokai,
that you'd like to have
and
your
a full
daughter
cup.
there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares
It's
to
you?
insult me?
I see you
Ah,
come up in the world.
I think
From
not.
a bathhouse boy
Excuse
to a
me.
waiter.
You wanted
You'll
to
go
buy
a long
yourself
way.
an altar in the cathedral. Just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's
You
all
there,
they have,
lad.
they
A
would
cup
be
of red.
defeated by that
And
bunch
don't you
of
skip
ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
Sorry?
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this
Thank you.
seems to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this band of fools!
Fucking king.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujitz parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom.
He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
God bless. God be with you.
Greetings.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, He's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Glad to finally accept my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh? I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted. But they never broke my spirit.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the Council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies. their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the rights to leave.
Not even Bocek?
Not even...
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well. We have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence.
I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword!
Enough! That will do. My God. Why did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Greetings to you too.
Godwin, you wouldn't be we didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
Good day. Greetings to you, friend.
God be with you. There's something I...
God be with you.
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Bob. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
What brings you here?
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope
What brings you here?
A little misunderstanding involving Even though Jobst is right, I'm in favor of decisive action. We no longer afford to wait.
didn't have enough on my plate already. Like my ward, I can't leave unattended for a few days without him damn near getting executed.
No go easy.
What do you think you're doing?
His fault.
But for the last time, those shenanigans of his have got to stop.
I heard something. Nothing, I suppose. Stop fooling around with those stones! Greetings!
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed.
God forbid. But
not really.
I left something behind.
Is that so?
Oh, just a wee gift for Lord...
The younger or the...
Do you think there are two lords of Raborsh? For Martin Odorin.
All right. Go ahead.
I've got those papers from...
Quiet!
My lady, with all the clamor, here they are. You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you. No.
Yes, quite.
How could I refuse?
And to the success...
God be with you.
And that's exactly why we mustn't
bad,
put
it
too
put me
hard.
to shame. Aye. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutar.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take...
And what?
I don't care what the young lord... If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing a friend to tie their knot to save the kingdom.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your parleying skills!
Sabojek, your niece Yit...
So Hanush agreed?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end.
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord King.
Here's to a good butt. And that's exactly why. I'm still hoping it works. We walk out of here with a clear plan. But
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwyn of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides on the suit.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper slayer.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Surely you don't want to.
The roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
No. Not just a long time ago.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be...
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
To King Wenceslas.
This is about politics. That may be true.
Keep saying.
It is going to take time to raise an army. Until then,
I tried. When those two go.
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudhart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
kill all these guys drunk.
I'll show you!
Yeah, Jesus! The surrounding Christopher can't make it on his own.
Yeah!
Jesus!
Go! More!
Get back! Stand your ground!
Strike!
You're done.
Nice hit! Ah, you got him! Get ready to leave. Kill him!
I feel quite hungry!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me.
Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
I was standing a few steps from von Aulitz when he told Sigismund I was pouring them wine, and had to listen to how Sigismund was going to give him Raborsch. It was a horrible feeling, not being able to do anything about it.
And what could you possibly do?
Kill them. Both of them.
My fingers would itch too. Was there any knife lying around? Or at least a fork?
Do you know what that would cause?
The war would end.
But at what cost? After Sigismund's death, his army would be cut loose. They'd ransack the city and kill anyone in their way.
Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it.
No, you almost took Hinnek of Kunschmann.
Damn. That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
Rather off. Crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they want to come themselves. Butcher. He's just greedy as to take care of young Sir Christopher and hope his father comes back soon.
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work. What if the old lord doesn't come back? Then we'll have a young. Not a little boy.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing. They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
I haven't checked any of mine. Bad or anything.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them. I'm going with you. Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Such slaughter.
Did I not tell you we should not come?
You did. but I still exist.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Let's go then.
Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech ha'olam.